A client whose husband is really unhappy in the relationship. She's unhappy as well, but he's telling her all the things she needs to change, and she's going, yes, 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 okay, I'll do that, I'll do that. She wants to keep the family together, and she's just nodding along. I think he tracks in her. She's accommodating, she's willing, she's doing this, but she's not really connected to what she's doing and really agree. Like, she doesn't really believe that she needs to do all the things he's telling her,
Hmm.
but she's in such a desperate position. And I think then that dynamic for her, I don't think it's really a pleasurable relationship. It's just to sort of say, well, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep it together. And
Yeah.
also a disconnect from self. And I think for her, it was helpful for her to see that desperate position when actually she really isn't desperate. I think she wants the relationship to work, and that's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with her wanting the relationship to work. But her being in that position just pretty much says, you can walk all over me, husband, because I'm gonna kind of make it all okay. And then
Yeah.
neither of them respect each other, and they don't have a close relationship and a connected one. And I think both of them are pretty unhappy.
Yeah. I mean, one of the themes that keeps coming forward here is how people who are really struggling with the connection in the relationship tend to also be disconnected from themselves. And like this client that you're describing, where she's really desperate for it to work, like she's desperate to hold a connection with him and she's willing to let go of her connection with herself to do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so then you have to deal with like, is it actually that I am so into connection, or is it just like I don't like myself or I don't trust myself?
I think that can play into it. I also think it's sort of, again, it's familiar. She knows that she's gonna see her kids every day and wants to see her kids every day if the family is
Yeah.
intact. And I know this. I've been with this partner for over a decade and a half. So I think oftentimes we look at those, sort of the investment we put in and the familiarity, and we sort of have difficulty putting that at risk at all by considering ourselves and what makes sense and and pushing for something more. So I don't think the relationship has to end, but her just sort of saying you can do whatever you want, it doesn't make for a better relationship. So I think when
Hmm.
she could see herself as, I'm not desperate, I want it to work, but actually me owning my part in the relationship issues is important, and I need to do that. But I also need to think about what is actually wise for me to do. Is
Hmm.
it to every time my husband, says something, I'm kind of validating him and patting him on the back and reassuring him and telling him he's great, which is one of the things he might want? Or is it that I'm showing up for him and listening to him, being compassionate to him? It doesn't mean I'm agreeing with him or I'm managing his ego. And I think she wants a better relationship. And I think when she could do that, when she can let herself really consider that, I think there's possibility actually for the relationship to work out better.